Big exciting news to start your Friday afternoon as multiple stimulus checks are now confirmed and coming to you under the third stimulus package. That's the big news. The other great news across the board is a leading senator in the Democratic Party is saying he's going to step up and block the third stimulus package bill unless they do more FPUC. Wow. This is coming from nowhere, and this is changing the whole game plan and the whole playing field of the third stimulus package, meaning that other senators who have urged for other bigger, bolder items like stimulus checks, like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, could step up as well. Suddenly we realized earlier today that the House subcommittees had finished the third stimulus package bill and that they're sending it up for a final vote in the House in the next few days. And while we sat back and wondered what happened to certain deal provisions, now you could be getting more money if other senators do exactly what this leading Democratic senator and chairman of a major committee is urging to do with FPUC. This incredible jaw-dropping breaking news is the start of afternoon's LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LA, part of a 3-program schedule for this afternoon. First with Check, this show. Then I'm back with Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package that will go over the items in the Third Stimulus Package one at a time now that the bill is ostensibly being finalized for a vote in the House. And then I'm back with the live show, What the Chuck. I'll be answering all your questions on that program. They're coming up right after this, so stay tuned. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Go to the front of the channel, subscribe. If you're not getting alerts, make sure you unsubscribe and then resubscribe. And then hit that alert button. If you're not getting alerts as well, unalert and then click the alert button so it says signed up for all notifications. Meantime, if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Thank you to all the new members who became members today, including Trish, Trisha, and Tracy on the Home LA show early today. I'm looking for Stuart, Sam, and Sian to join later this afternoon. With that, I have so much breaking across the board. Wall Street ended relatively flat for the day. Dow Jones, 27.7 up slightly. NASDAQ up slightly, $68. Microsoft up about 50 cents to $245. Apple ended up 24 cents to $135. Walmart up another dollar again. Walmart's been doing well lately, up to $78. Tesla actually ended up $4 to $816. That's after it had been falling 60 points over the last few days. Its resistance level very close, 800. Watch that as well. So much happening in this recording. Coming up in this recording, I'll be going over this incredible great news that third stimulus check package details will include multiple stimulus checks for parents. Item number 1. Number 2, that FPUC may go bigger and bolder. How big? Oh boy, it's exactly that number you're looking for. And I'll also be going over what else is happening in the third stimulus package debate this week. All right, let's get to the breaking news. There's so much happening. I'm very excited for you. Let's now get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that the third stimulus check package from President Joe Biden is now done and ready for a vote. What does this mean, done? Last week, a week ago today, the tow truck passed over the finish line. As the tow truck, the reconciliation bill, became law. The tow truck has on the back of it a tow hitch, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package from Joe Biden. That tow hitch was going through the House subcommittees as required by rules and law for them to mark up, modify language of the bill. The day started with the breaking news delivered first on Morning's LALATE that those House subcommittees had approved the provisions of the bill and that they had voted on them and that they were done. The Ways and Means Committee, done with FPUC and the stimulus check and an earned income tax credit. The business grants, done with the business grants. The employment and financial resources, done with all the issues of unemployment as well. So what does that mean? It means that as the members of this channel, you will see the deal provisions that are in the respective committees, and next week, you'll see the bill that's getting called for a vote. It's important to have the language of the bill because the bill is what you're going to get paid on. This is not conjecture. This is not chatter. This is actual bill that you're going to get paid on. And all the items in the third stimulus package, with the exception of the check, are not automatic, meaning you have to apply for them. And the sooner you apply, the quicker you get paid because they are diminishing funds accounts. They are not necessarily allocated enough for that every single person would get the money. And what's the big news? Let's first get the stimulus checks. $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 a child, $1,400 an adult dependent. Income eligibility unchanged from the first, second stimulus package to this one. Approximately $75,000 or less, 2019 or 2020 income, you'll get a stimulus check. Married couple, double that. Then, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, you will get a $1,400 stimulus check as well. It's as simple as that. If you receive your benefits every month, you'll receive the stimulus check likely the same way you receive your benefits. Like if you receive it by electronic deposit, you would receive it by electronic deposit as well. It goes to your payee, it would go to the payee. If you're wondering where the child's check goes, it goes to the parent. If there's a household with a married couple and several kids, it would go to the head of household for all the entire family. Now, next question, when? When? Well, the bill will be called for a vote in the House of Representatives no later than February 22nd. These are distinct rules of operation of the Congress. There's no inherent delay involved. They actually have to follow these rules. Then it will go to the Senate. The Senate parliamentarian, who's an individual, will look at the bill, mark it up, make advices or changes, and then the bill will be subject to an override by the Vice President, which then requires a 50 vote by all Democrats to approve any overriding. This could be singularly the most important point for what I'm about to get to a second, FPUC. Members may not want to override things unless they get what they want under the third stimulus package. Well, what are the surprises? Let me get right to that big surprise about FPUC. It started today out of nowhere, when as though the stimulus gods from above opened up and blessed us with Senator Ron Wyden. That's W-Y-D-E-N, Democrat out of Oregon, which often has very great ideas, the state of Oregon, for their elected officials. He's the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. Guess what he said overnight? He says, I'm not going to support this third stimulus package at $400 a week. It needs to be $600 a week or else. Wow. This is the first person who has stood up against the $1.9 trillion stimulus package and said it is too small, and has said it on one of the biggest issues in the third stimulus package. You know, and I know, that the biggest items of the third stimulus package at issue are the stimulus checks and FPUC. And on the issue of FPUC, he is saying he's not going to vote in favor of it unless it's $600 a week. This is huge in so many reasons and regards. One, it's huge because it's holding the president accountable for the promise he made in writing in his own transition papers in the month of December, less than 30 days ago, saying he will do $600 a week. He promised it on the campaign trail. He was elected on a $600 a week promise, and it was a promise of retroactively. This is an elected official who is of the same party who's saying the $400 doesn't cut it. It's not consistent with your promises, and it's too small. The other thing that's really big about this is it signals the importance and the likelihood and the encouragement of other leading senators to do the same with their issues that they have fought for. Cue in Bernie Sanders. In December of 2020, Bernie Sanders was the supporter of the Purple Powers movement to get bigger and bolder stimulus checks. He said $2,000 an individual, $3,200 an adult dependent. Now we're going to less than that amount across the board. This could signal the entrance of Bernie Sanders to come in big and bold and say, you promised $3,200 for adult dependents. And they never got the $1,200 stimulus check from last year. They never got the $600 stimulus check for last year. They're owed $3,200. This may signal Elizabeth Warren, a leading senator out of Massachusetts, to come in as well and say, wait a second. There's a lot of things other groups were promised, like SSI and SSDI. We can put the $200 a month in there. It's only $2,400 a year. It's not a lot of money. We can put them in there. Ultimately, this is the time and place to absolutely get the Senate behind the movement to go bigger and bolder. Because ironically, in an environment in which the House and the Senate is controlled by both the same party, if the Senate wants to go bigger on the number, then there's no likelihood that the House will come back and say, no, we're not going to support a bigger number. It's a done deal. So the Senate can go bigger and bolder, and the Senate now has the encouragement of one of its top members, the head of the Finance Committee, to go big and bold on FPUC. This is huge. Also huge today is the multiple stimulus checks. It's now confirmed in the bill. Multiple stimulus checks for parents are confirmed in the bill. How does this work? Who's going to get it? And how does it calculate? It is very peculiar to start. So I'm going to explain to you by starting. It is a peculiar instrument that doesn't make inherent sense. That's why it sounds a little peculiar when you hear me describe it to you. It is paid to you by IRS as a parent in advance of a tax return you're going to file next year. We don't have any other instruments like this to compare upon in the U.S. economy. Usually, you're the one prepaying things to IRS. It's not IRS prepaying you. How does this work? If you have a child 17 years or younger, IRS will prepay you $3,000 per child, prorated over 12 months. Starting at the month of July this year. If the child is 6 years or younger, it'll be $3,600. Let me show you how this works. Let's say you have two children who are ages 3 and 4. You will get for the first child $300 a month in the month of July and $300 for the second child also in the month of July. In the month of August, you will get the same, and that will continue for 1 year. At the end of 1 year, you will get $3,600 for the first child and $3,600 for the second child. This is huge. Now, ultimately, it should be the rallying call to do this for other things. There's an earned income tax credit that came out of the House Ways and Subcommittee from the same committee that did this. That says we're going to pay $1,500 to an individual who worked during the pandemic for hazard pay and made less than $25,000. When are they paying that $1,500? It's not particularly clear, but the $1,500 again is for next year's tax return. So if it's not being paid starting in the month of July, it should also be paid in the month of July. Purple Power, do your thing. Go on social media. Meantime, other bill provisions are coming separately. That's what's the important message I need to remind viewers. This is what Nancy Pelosi has referred to, even though she didn't write it, President Joe Biden wrote it, as the rescue package. She says that the recovery package is already being worked on, the next package with more stimulus. Now, understand that's a package. There's also individual bills, or as we often call in this channel, standalone bills. They're standalone bills, and anyone can introduce a standalone bill for you, and if they have Chuck Schumer behind it to call for a vote, it will pass. A week ago today, $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness was introduced as a standalone bill, and it was introduced by Warren and Sanders with Chuck Schumer's endorsement. Then, also a week ago today, a $1,000 baby bill bond was introduced by Cory Booker, also with the support of Warren, Sanders, and Schumer. Now, ultimately, bills like SSI, SSDI, $2,400 over 1 year, bills like other things that need to be taken care of can be introduced as standalone bills. All it takes is a senator on board and Chuck Schumer ready to call for a vote. Mitch McConnell no longer controls the Senate. He no longer controls the agenda of whether the bill is called for a vote. And if it's bipartisan enough, it will get passed. That's the great news to start your afternoon. And after this recording, I'm back taped with you with third stimulus check and third stimulus package. In that video, I go over everything from the mortgage assistance, the rent assistance, the child tax credit, the paid sick leave, the hazard pay, all the EIDL grant, all those other things are in the third stimulus package. I'll be going over those as well. After that, I'm back with What the Chuck, a live recording. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member, like Trish, Tracy, and Trisha. Stay informed, stay focused, stay beautiful, and keep smiling, and stay with LA for more.